Let's start with the Ravens. They picked 14th in the first round. I'm just going because Josh is on the top, and that's where I'm looking. But Josh, what do you think the biggest team needs are for the Ravens, and what prospect do you want to snipe from Trapasso here or Traps? Sorry.
Yeah, let's get right back to it. We'll just pick up where we left off last week. You look at the team needs for Baltimore: a linebacker, edge rusher, cornerback could possibly be a need for this team after the Marcus Peters injury last year. They kind of showed their cards a little bit when they tried to sign Zadarius Smith. That obviously fell through. So edge rusher is certainly a need for this team. They brought Michael Pierce back to bolster the interior defensive line. They still have Calais Campbell out there if they choose to bring him back. So there's some options they could still toss around. Bobby Wagner is a guy that has been mentioned as being of interest to the Ravens. So I still think they have some things to be done in free agency. But the front seven is really what I would look for Baltimore. So you're sitting there in the middle of the first round.
By the way, I just point out that on Wednesday night, Richard Sherman tweeted out something very vague and he's like, B-Wags news coming soon. And then everybody's like, oh my God, really? And then 2 hours later, he's like, oh, sorry, that's going to be a slight delay on that. But so it's possible that in the time that if you're listening to the podcast, it's possible that Bobby Wagner is signed. If he's signed by the Ravens, and Josh looks like a genius. If not, just carry on with your day. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, so we can assume that's not going to happen now. Front seven is an area that I would look for the Ravens. You're looking at Jermaine Johnson II from Florida State, an edge rusher that could possibly be what they are losing out with Zadarius Smith. You've got the Georgia defensive tackles, Devontae White and Jordan Davis, that could be options there for Baltimore in the middle of the first round as well. So those are a couple of guys that I'm looking at for the Ravens.
All right, to not repeat, Josh, if we are going to go linebacker, I think the Ravens need someone who can cover. They picked Patrick Queen in the first round 2 years ago, and he's been just dismal in coverage. He's a good blitzer. In that scheme, I think any linebacker is going to be set up for some kind of advantageous blitzing situations. Nakobe Dean, it feels like his stock is dropping a little. He hasn't been able to work out during the pre-draft process. We're not really sure how the league views Devin Lloyd. He could be an option. It's kind of that bigger player that I think the Ravens would like. So one of those two linebackers I would not mind for the Ravens. But like Josh said, to kind of piggyback off him a little, it's got to be something up front. I'm not the biggest advocate of picking even Jordan Davis this high, but because he plays nose tackle, if there's a team that would fit just kind of the mold of the type of player that he is, it would be the Ravens. So I wouldn't hate that, and I wouldn't give it an F on the draft tracker in real time. So Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis, maybe one of those Georgia prospects would make the most sense for the Baltimore Ravens.
I'm chuckling because Bruce Arians is doing the retirement thing right now on NFL Network on Thursday afternoon. He's got a freaking cigar in his shirt pocket. He's like,
doesn't have a drink.
Oh, dude, he's 100% having a drink and then smoking that cigar somewhere around the Bucks facility the second the press conference ends. I mean, he's like, yeah, I mean, that's not even up for debate.